Hey guys, welcome back to today's NFL pick video play for August 18th, 2018. And this one talking about this matchup here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys as we continue to work our way through week 2 of the preseason. So in terms of what these two teams have done thus far, you have the Cincinnati Bengals in their week 1 matchup coming through at home against the Bears, and of course Chicago playing in the Hall of Fame game. So that was game 2 for Chicago, while the Bengals went on and won that one in a higher scoring matchup in their first preseason game of the season, grabbing that victory by a final of 30-27. But also one other thing I want to mention before diving deeper into this one is in terms of these two squads, Vegas has them pegged to do very similar things in 2018 to what they did in 2017. So the Bengals, they went on to win 7 games last year. Their win total set by Vegas is at 6.5. And then the Cowboys went on to win 9 games last year, and Vegas has their win total at 8.5. And that's a little bit surprising to me because of the issues that Dallas had to work their way through last year. And at the end of the day, Vegas sees them maybe even taking a step back potentially, but we'll see how that plays out. But back to what the Bengals were able to do in week 1 of the preseason. Andy Dalton and Jeff Driscoll both looked really solid out there, and then Matt Barkley not so much. And Barkley, throughout his career, has never been a guy that I've had a whole lot of confidence in, completing just 5 of 13 passes there for 64 yards. But Driscoll and Dalton combining to have a whole lot of success. Driscoll going 10 of 15 for 140 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. And then Dalton 6 of 8 for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And in terms of looking at what the Bengals did last year in the preseason, they won their first preseason game back in week 1, which also came at home. But then after that, they faded quite a bit. They went 0 for 3 in their last 3 preseason games. And preseason matchups tend to follow a typical pattern, so it'll be also interesting to see if the Bengals have that same kind of pattern here going through their last preseason matchups where they consistently came up short in 2017. So today they're going to be taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Last year in the preseason, Dallas, they went 3-1 overall. They played in the Hall of Fame game, came through in that one. Then they lost on the road to the Los Angeles Rams, and then after that, closing things out with back-to-back wins at home against the Colts and the Raiders, and then their final preseason game was canceled on the road against Houston. So their 2 true home games that the Cowboys played last year in the preseason, they won both of those matchups, while on the flip side, the Bengals lost in their 2 matchups on the road last year during the preseason. In week 1 of the preseason this year, the Cowboys coming up just short. They were looking good, like they might come through, but coming up short in the 4th quarter, being outscored 0-14 as they went on to lose that one to the 49ers by a final of 21-24, but still a competitive matchup there for Dallas. And they got some good work for their quarterbacks, Dak Prescott, going 3 for 3 for 39 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. I also really like what we saw out of Cooper Rush. He went on to complete 15 of 23 passes for 145 yards, 1 touchdown to 0 interceptions. And then Mike White also getting some time out there, going 6 of 11 for 63 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So no interceptions across the board for Dallas, which is a good sign there in week 1 of the preseason. In terms of the overall quarterback depth, I'd probably give the slight lean over to Dallas. And then also with what the Cowboys were able to do last year at home in the preseason, perhaps they put a little bit more into those games to try to make at least their home crowd feel good about picking up a victory, even though it doesn't mean all that much in the preseason. And then in contrast to the Bengals, who weren't able to win any of their road games in the preseason last year. So with all that being the case, going to go ahead side with the home team here, taking the Dallas Cowboys to cover the spread, which is set at a field goal, so they're giving 3 points. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. Leave a comment on how you see this one potentially playing out. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more picks, or check out more picks over at our main website, stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. So thanks, guys, for stopping on in. Hope to see you back here for future videos.